are you, big fella?
Yeah, not too bad, mate.
Thanks for coming on again.
Yeah.
After the success of your last one, you couldn't wait to get back in the hot seat.
Yeah, that's it, mate. That's it.
So I've got Grant Lofts back with me.
Yep.
It was happy birthday, big fella.
Thank you very much.
It was his birthday yesterday,
Yes,
which we all went out and celebrated.
Yeah, well, it was a good night.
Big 34, mate.
Yeah, 34.
You're starting to get on a little bit, big fella.
Yeah, getting old, but I'm still young at heart.
Still young at heart?
Yeah. Especially when you have 3 nephews and
Oh, they keep you on your toes?
well, like, it's good to pass on movie knowledge and movies that I was interested back when I was their age and they can get into, and and it's great that the next generation's catching up to movies that we grew up as kids.
Yep.
And I really like that, and like my old man did that with my brother and I and our sister.
Yep.
So yeah, it's cool that movies that your parents like can pass it on to you, and you like the movies and all that kind of stuff.
After our first podcast, we got some positive feedback that I think the audience loved you and loved your movie chat.
Yeah.
So I think we might make this sort of like a semi-regular podcast where you come on and you can chat. You know what interests you at the time or whatever. What you've been watching. So
yeah, no worries, mate.
So yeah, seems like it went down well. So I'm glad you're doing it again with me.
Yeah, that's good.
So besides your birthday, turning 34, how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling alright, mate.
Yeah, still ticking?
Yeah, still alive, still kicking. So
good to hear. Yeah, so what has pricked your interest these days? Since we last spoke? What have you been on? I've seen some of your Facebook posts about certain movies. And
like
directors and stuff, and
it's like I was watching Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
Yep.
Like, I saw it in the cinemas when it came out.
Yep.
And it got mixed reviews from critics and fans and that.
Yep.
Like, I enjoyed it for what it was. I thought it was a good film. I didn't think I didn't waste my money when I saw it at cinemas.
Yep.
So, and watching it again, like I posted, I'm like, I enjoyed it more the second time. So, yeah. And I did, man. So, yeah. There's another movie I'm going to probably watch tomorrow night called Cross of the Iron, I think it's called. Yeah, Cross of the Iron.
Okay. What's that about?
It's a World War II film directed by the famous Sam Peckinpah.
Yep.
Who was famously a Hollywood director who loved to drink a lot.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. But
is that how he got the creative juices flowing?
Yes, and some weird, crazy stuff, but I'll tell you that in a minute. But this film called Cross of the Iron is a 1977 film, World War II film, and it follows the German side of World War II.
Okay.
And I actually haven't seen this.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to sitting down and gonna watch it for the first time, see what it's like, because Sam Peckinpah, some of his movies can be very violent.
Oh, really?
Like Quentin Tarantino.
Okay.
Like his classic Western, The Wild Bunch, is probably the most violent Western ever made.
Oh.
You think the last 20 minutes Quentin Tarantino came in and directed it. That's how violent it is.
Really?
Yeah.
So why did another director come in and?
Oh no, Quentin Tarantino didn't come in and direct it, but it has his style. Like if you see it, you're like, where did Tarantino come in here? Because it's that violent. But it was Sam Peckinpah, and Sam Peckinpah, his when he does violence, he does it in slow motion.
Yep.
So you see the blood and that go everywhere, and yeah, for about 20 years in America, it was rated X.
What's X?
X is the most highest rating in America, past R.
Okay.
So yeah, that was for 20 years it was rated X. But yeah, but about Sam Peckinpah, he directed another western called Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, and they got Bob Dylan to be in the movie. And when Bob Dylan came to set for the first time to meet Sam Peckinpah was lying in bed and he was already half pissed, and fired a gun at Bob Dylan. He didn't know who the fuck.
Really?
Yeah. He was that drunk. He fired off a shot at Bob Dylan.
Wow.
And then another time when they were editing Pat Garrett and, not editing, they were screening it for the first time. And Sam Peckinpah, Bob Dylan, and a couple of other people were there watching the screening of it. And Sam Peckinpah was like, "It's too dark in here." Went up to the projector screen and pissed on the projector screen. And Bob Dylan, because Bob Dylan wrote the song "Knocking on Heaven's Door" for the movie.
Yep. Oh, okay. Yep.
So when you hear "It's too dark in here," Bob Dylan got that from Peckinpah, who said
on it.
Yeah. So he wrote that as part of the lyrics. So there's a little bit of music and movie trivia.
See, that's why I think the audience loves you, mate. Because there's just little insights like that people that are not really maybe the most big movie buffs, or even if they are movie buffs, but they don't bother to research any further than just watch a movie.
Oh yeah, and like with Blu-rays and all that, you can like on special features, you can watch trivia tracks or auto commentary, and that's how you get those little informations of certain stuff, like Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yep.
Who's in Back to the Future Part 2 and 3.
Yeah, you did say that to me off air.
Yeah, he played Needles in Part 2 and 3. So, yeah, if you're a Red Hot Chili Peppers fan, watch Back to the Future Part 2 and 3. But also, again, if you're a Red Hot Chili Peppers fan, you might want to watch the original 991 Point Break.
Yeah?
Because the frontman from Red Hot Chili Peppers is in it, and he punches Keanu Reeves in the face.
Isn't it funny that I don't know, even back in the day, there's musos that cross over into into like they make cameo appearances.
Yep.
I can't remember what movie it was, but like even comedies where like there'll be a bit where like there's a band that needs to play, but the band will be like a well-known band at that time or something like that.
Oh, it's like Alice Cooper in Wayne's World.
Yeah, it's a classic reference.
So, we're not worthy. But it's just interesting with like little cameos and that. Even like famous celebrities coming in to do little cameos here and there.
Yep.
Like Richard Branson in Casino Royale. A lot of people don't know he's actually in Casino Royale.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's
That's 007?
Yeah. Bond goes to the Miami airport and you see a guy getting body searched and it's Richard Branson.
Yeah.
So, but it's like one of those quick, you got to pause it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so they don't make a note of it.
No,
really,
no. So,
what other things is there like that? Cameos like that you can think of?
Oh, man, now you got me on the spot.
Put you on the spot.
Steven Spielberg in Gremlins.
Just careful of that. Yeah, maybe just put it on the floor. Yeah.
Steven Spielberg, in Gremlins. Like, the main character's father's a inventor, and he goes to this inventing expo, and he's talking to his son on the phone, and you see this three-wheeler bicycle come past in the screen, and Steven Spielberg's on the bike.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and also Steven Spielberg's in what's it called, Blues Brothers.
Okay.
He plays the tax office guy at the end of the film, where the Blues Brothers got to give the money.
Okay.
It's,
So I know you're into movies on the big screen. Are you into much smaller screen stuff?
Oh, TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, for example, like say Seinfeld. Are you into Seinfeld?
I used to be.
You know what? Though I reckon you'll still be able to answer this question. George's boss. Why could you never see his face?
I got no idea.
Oh, there you go.
I got no idea.
At the Yankees. I must have. I always thought maybe it's. I haven't researched. I probably could research it, but I always thought maybe it's someone that is like.
Yeah, well, it's like the guy from Home Improvement.
Yeah. Why could you never see his face?
Yeah, you never see his face. You just see the top part of his face.
What's the reason behind
I don't know. But like the shows that I watch, a lot of them are like from HBO.
Oh, okay.
Shows.
Yep.
But not only that, also the YouTube original show Cobra Kai.
Okay.
That's the sequel to the original Karate Kid films.
Okay.
That's another show that I watch.
I reckon because you got that much knowledge, you need your own show.
Yeah.
You need your own like movie half hour with.
Oh well.
Brachiosaurus Rex.
Like the only I kind of had an idea for a Back to the Future TV series back. Yeah.
You include a hoverboard.
It was just I had the idea for the opening. I didn't have
Yeah.
But I had a really great idea for the opening, and I pitched it to one of my cousins, and I pitched it to my sister, and they both said, "Oh, that sounds like really good."
Mm.
And yeah, but saying that, the creators of Back to the Future, they don't want to do a part 4 or anything like that.
They're just happy to leave it as it is.
Yeah, and it's a good trilogy to leave something. Because if you start mucking around with it and all that kind of stuff.
I think we covered it briefly on our last podcast, but I don't know whether I love a remake of an old movie with just newer graphics and newer CGI and more explosions and stuff. I don't know. I like the simplicity sometimes of like the older action films, like Speed, for example.
Yep.
Just like you watch it now and you might think, oh, come on, but like it was just simple, but like it still captured you into that film. Sometimes you don't need all the like over the top stuff.
Like probably the two.
Any Wesley Snipes film?
The two best remakes I probably like at the moment.
Yeah.
Would have to be 3:10 to Yuma, which is a 2007 Western.
Okay.
And stars Russell Crowe and Christian Bale. That was a really good remake.
Okay.
And then the other one was the 2016 Magnificent Seven with Denzel Washington and Chris Pratt. I thought that was another good Western.
Okay.
And like they're remakes, but they're fun, enjoyable, and yeah, you don't like with a lot of other remakes and that can be average or a bit crap.
Yep.
Like the remake I was really looking forward to at the time was the Evil Dead remake, because I love all 3 Evil Dead films.
Yep.
And I was looking forward to this remake. The trailer got me. I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. It's going to be awesome. And they only showed it at select cinemas in the city. So I didn't go. I'm like, I'll wait until it comes out on DVD and Blu-ray, and I'll pick it up then. And I picked it up on Blu-ray. I watched it. I'm like, yeah, it was an okay remake. I mean, I'm not gonna write home about it,
Yep.
and no.
Have you watched a movie that you had low expectations on and you were really surprised?
Upgrade.
Oh yeah, you touched on this last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, the trailer looked good. I'm like, yeah. And then when I watched it, I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But it's the same with like Blade Runner 2049.
Mm.
Like the trailers got me. I was a fan of the original Blade Runner.
Yep.
And I've got all 5 cuts of the original Blade Runner. So yeah, the world of Blade Runner has got me, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a good film. And then it was it wasn't a masterpiece; it was a visual masterpiece. So it's that visually stunning, beautiful,
Yeah.
and that storyline was fantastic. And then the box office didn't make money, and about a year later, people are now just coming on to it and going, this is the best film of 2017. Why didn't a lot of people see it? Because you had to see the original. That's why. Because there's a lot of Easter eggs that are nods to the original if you don't. Yeah. So
Have you because you're obviously a movie buff.
Yep.
And you seem to know your stuff. People that you follow or admire.
Yep.
Have you ever tried to reach out to them and have you ever got a message back from someone that's like, oh, that's cool?
Yeah. Emil Minty. He was the little boy in Mad Max 2.
Okay.
And I met him at the 20th anniversary of the Mad Max 2 reunion. And I was 18 at the time, and I met him, I got his autograph and that. And then I was on the Mad Max official Facebook page one night.
Yeah.
And I see this name, Emil Minty. I'm like, shit. And I messaged him, I said, are you the real Emil Minty from Mad Max 2? He was like, yeah. I said, I met you at the 20th anniversary of Mad Max 2. He's like, oh, cool. And then I became Facebook friends with him.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And we would talk about stuff. And, I remember I was on YouTube one day and Quentin Tarantino was on. And Quentin Tarantino was talking about Mad Max Fury Road.
Mm.
And Quentin Tarantino's like, oh, to me, Tom Hardy's character is not Mad Max. He's the little feral kid all growing up. So I sent that video to Emil Minty.
Yeah.
He loved it. He thought it was cool that someone like Quentin Tarantino knew the movie and that. And so that was pretty cool. And then last year for my birthday, Emil sent me a birthday message.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And I said to him, I personally wrote him a message back saying, oh, it's cool that a cast member of Mad Max 2 is wishing me a happy birthday. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Just stepping away from movies for a tiny bit.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've learnt with doing a podcast.
Yeah.
I've reached out to some sort of more known people to try and get them on.
Yep.
And I'm actually surprised at the amount of responses I'm getting from these people. Just because honestly, I send these messages and I think I'm never going to hear from them again.
Yeah.
Only by the off chance. But the response I'm getting is actually I'm so surprised. I'm getting sort of bigger named people that are at least sending me a message, whether it's positive or negative.
Yeah.
But at least they're sending me a message, and there's and that's awesome. That's what's awesome about living in a world today with technology.
Yeah.
We're able to do that. Imagine in the old days, we can't do that. You know what I mean? You'd have to know someone that knows someone that maybe knows someone that could get you someone. You know what I mean? Whereas these days, I can literally just send send a private message to someone, and that message, even if the person's higher profile, that message will possibly get read.
Yeah.
That's cool as.
It was like I wrote a message on Wayne Gardner's Facebook page. Now, Wayne Gardner's not an actor. He's an Australian MotoGP legend.
Yep.
He won the first...
Is he a motorbike? Oh, okay.
He's a motorbike rider.
I thought it was a... Yeah. Okay.
He won the first Australian MotoGP race at Phillip Island in 1989.
Okay.
And a new documentary has just come out called Wayne. And it's about Wayne Gardner and his career in the 80s and around MotoGP. And I wrote on his page, I can't wait to see this documentary, Wayne, and that. And he wrote me a message back and he's like, you're going to enjoy it, mate. And I'm like,
how cool is that?
Yeah. And I'm just like, Wayne Gardner's just written me a message. Awesome.
I'll give an example just so people can sort of understand. But I follow a Australian bodybuilder called Lee Priest.
Yep.
He's probably the biggest bodybuilder to come out of Australia.
Yeah.
And he used to he probably, I don't know whether he's still like competing in shows and stuff currently. Yep. I think he does, but different sort of shows. But back in the day, he was the best Australian bodybuilder you can ever see. You know what I mean? Yeah. His physique was amazing. And just like, I just thought, because I know he lives in Australia, so I thought I'll send him a message to see one day if he's in Melbourne.
Yep.
I'd love to have him on the podcast. I probably need to sit on another chair.
Yeah.
But I'd love to have him on the podcast. So I sent him a message like, and man, my messages might not be the most, you know, some people, like if they try and hit up someone they follow, they might try and be like, you know, sir, like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I'm
blah,
a
blah,
fan
blah.
of yours.
Yeah. I sort of just said, hey, Lee, like, my name's Jason. I do a podcast. I've been following you for a while now. I've been watching your YouTube videos from back in the day. And I just said, if you're ever in Melbourne, like, it'd be cool to have you on. And I left it at that. And then I got a message back pretty much saying, like, yeah, man, like, thumbs up. Like, yeah, I'll let you know.
Cool.
Like, whether it happens or not, how cool is that?
Yeah.
That you could reach out to someone that you might, like, think is a pretty cool dude, or you might follow, and get a message back.
Well, I follow a bodybuilder as well, but he was also an actor. He was in Mad Max 2.
Okay.
And he plays the Lord Humongous. I can't pronounce his name, so I'm not gonna. But he's Swedish, and he's when you say Mad Max 2, he's ripped. And he knew, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger and the guy who did the original Hulk.
Yeah.
And that. And
they call Lee Priest the blonde myth.
Okay.
Sorry, interrupt.
And he usually, like, if I'm ever posting, like, MotoGP videos or that, he's usually sharing my ones, so it's always cool to... And
there's also, like, so there's people like that I might follow that are pretty cool that I get a reply from. And then there's, say, people that might upload content on YouTube.
Yep.
And then I might just comment on something and they reply and stuff. And yeah, they might not be like a celebrity in a movie to say.
Yeah.
But they're still uploading content, still have a massive following. So it's still pretty cool that they do still reply. And I think, especially these days, the landscape is changing.
Yeah.
Like, celebrity status, I think, doesn't only mean, they're a movie star. Celebrity status...
Oh, it means any...
if you've got 1 million subscribers and you're uploading content to YouTube, that's another version of, like, status to me.
Yeah.
So it's still pretty cool.
Like, I've been... like, you know this. I want to go to America with Glennie.
Yep.
Jason's housemate.
Yep.
And a couple of other people. And
if anyone wants to sponsor the movie movie podcast with Grant and sending to America,
Yeah.
send us an email, a message.
And basically, I've been watching about 3 American podcasts. Well, not podcasts, sorry. Video blogs.
Yep.
And basically, they're Justin Scard, Adam DeWoo, and Jordan Lyon. They're the 3 I've been watching.
Yep.
So anyone can watch them. And they do all different stuff. And like Jordan Lyon, he goes to a lot of stuff in the city of LA, like the Hollywood landmarks and all that.
Yep.
Justin Scar would probably do different stuff. Like he'll go out of town and all that. But sometimes he'll go to Universal Studios and Disneyland.
Mm.
And same with Adam DeWoo. He goes to different places around America, but he goes to like Disneyland, Universal, and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And I just like when I see how they're doing their videos and that, I'm intrigued by that. I'm intrigued where they're going and that. And like I was telling my old man, I said, there's a lot of stuff I know that tour groups would probably not know. And my dad's like, how would you know that? I said, YouTube. Because there's a lot of content on YouTube where tour groups would not know about certain places in Hollywood or that.
Yep. And that's what's cool.
Yeah.
That this is what I love, like pretty much what I'm doing. Anyone can just it connects you with more interesting people.
Yeah.
And it connects you with people that either have a passion in regard to what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it makes it seem more real to me.
Yeah.
So like if I watch a segment of whether it's someone working on a car on YouTube or whether it's someone that's exploring a vacant property.
Yeah.
Like it's cool because you sort of you connect with that person more because it's not so much directed and they've got full makeup on and everything's perfect.
No, they just use their phone.
You connect with that person more because they're just doing what they enjoy and they're just showing it to you.
Yeah.
So it's changing.
Yeah, it's like my cousin, Stevie, who does he's got his own YouTube car show called Intake, and
it's gonna be a lot of podcast mentions this one.
Yeah. And that's a really good car show if you like car shows and that. And he's working on about 3 different cars and he's getting so much hits on that.
Yep.
And now he's getting sponsors for it.
Yeah. So I think if you enjoy what you're doing, and you've got the time to do it often, I think the audience can connect with you because they know you're genuine. You know what I mean? Whereas, yes, you could connect to a movie or an actor, but that actor is a totally different person to who's playing a role of someone.
Yeah.
So there's no like it's not genuine. That role they're playing is not genuine because that's not them naturally.
No.
But doesn't mean they don't play that role excellent.
Well, there's a TV documentary series what came out in 2004, and it's called Long Way Round. It stars Hugh McGregor and his buddy Charlie Borman.
Yep.
And this is before YouTube and all this. And they went around the world on 2 BMW GS motorcycles. They had a film crew to follow them. They would only follow them to certain parts.
Yep.
And then a third bike would follow Hugh and Charlie and film that.
Yep.
And once again, you were seeing what they're really like without being in front of a movie screen and that. And this is before YouTube. So, and it's probably the best TV / documentary series ever made.
The only thing I think about when you say something like that is like what you just said. You get to see them without being in front of the camera.
Yeah.
This is my opinion only.
Yeah.
But once you're an actor, you've been taught how to play characters. You've been taught to be one way and then be able to flick a switch
Yeah.
and go into a zone and be the other way. When they do a show like that, how do you actually know
You can.
that they're authentic and not still
Yeah,
tapping into
I
it?
understand where you come from.
Yeah.
But you can actually tell because Ewan McGregor's dropping F-bombs like left and right.
Yeah.
And when you see him in interviews, he's got to hold back on that.
Yeah.
And he's just letting everything go.
Yeah.
And it's hysterical, some of the stuff what they get up to and into the show and that. Like, there's an episode where they're going through Russia on the road of bones, and this is how funny Hugh McGregor is, because he's Scottish and that, but his Scottish sense of humour comes out on the screen, and he's like, there is a good point why we can't cross this bridge, and he's pretending he's riding a motorbike, he's going boom, boom, and then next minute he's like, well, you have to put the brakes on here, so you don't end up down there, and the bridge is broken off, and they can't cross. And so Charlie and Claudio, their cameraman, they went into town, and Ewan's staying at the camp, at their little camp, and he's like his hair's sticking up, and he's like, oh, well, this is the bad hair show, and all this. And you can tell he's not acting and that. And that's what I like that's why every time before I go on a holiday and I actually watch Long Way Around to inspire me in a way, because, like, I've been telling Glenn, if we go to America, I want to take a couple of cameras and I want to film it. Like, I want to film the lifestyle in a way that, hey, we're living the Hollywood life.
Yep.
But Glenn said to me, he's like, but if you do it like that, we're going to act like tossers. I'm like, no, not really. Because if we do it on a budget, like on the hotels we're staying at, people are going to think, shit, where are they getting all this money? Without realising we're doing it on a budget kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like Glenn and I, we've done research on like some of the hotels we want to stay at and some places we want to see.
Yep.
And that, like, because Glenn said to me, like, there's certain stuff I want to see and there's certain stuff you want to see. But there's stuff what we want to do together, like go down Sunset Strip in Hollywood. I'm like, yeah, we'll do that. We'll stay at the W Hotel in Hollywood where the Victorians supermodels stay and that. And just
you gotta try pick up, Grant.
just
hang around the hotel, see if you happen to bump heads.
Yeah, pretty much. But just like certain stuff like that, and because like I'm 34, and I like there's gonna be a part of me where I might want to lay back on a trip and all that kind of stuff, and I want to do more trips before, like kind of like lay back and all that kind of stuff.
No, you gotta love travelling.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, I think on that note, on the travel note, I've got no timer in here, so I'm just worried that we're going to go over time. So I think we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
And then I think you're going to become a regular thing, and I think the audience will love you if they don't already.
Okay.
So I appreciate your time again.
Yep, no worries.
You're a man full of knowledge.
Yep.
And happy birthday.
Thank you, brother.